Okay, so let's hit this. Let's hit it. Alrighty, we are testing out Robotech, and I don't think this is a real game. You know, and look, it's not like I don't own my games, and I'll probably repeat myself again, but I mean, I own like a stack of games, like sitting on top of my tower right now, and there's more. And I even took delivery of a new snowboarding game today. And if it isn't in the list of games that came with my flash cartridge, we will play it. But the reason I spent $80 on a flash cartridge today was because there were two games I wanted to buy on eBay, and one of them was basically two. One of them was the snowboarding game, and the other one was a what was it? Snowboarding and some other bullshit. But in any case, the games were like $80 and $100 respectively, or maybe one of them was like $50. And it's like, really, I'm gonna buy an old used Nintendo game for like $50? Now, there are laws and there's, you know, copyright minutia. Okay, I think the name of the game I'm gonna try is called Twisted Edge. Let me make sure here. Okay, no, this is Twisted Edge. There's another snowboarding game for N64 of that. When I looked it up, it was obscenely expensive. So, I want to make sure I specifically buy that game. Or, I'm sorry, that's the game that I'm totally not gonna buy. Because, look, let's face it, the software devs who originally made these games are not getting a penny if you buy the game used. But the way I see it, I like to build a cartridge collection. No better way to archive the games than to have a hard copy of the cartridge, although, I mean, there are other ways. I would say a dual-pronged approach is the way to go. You're going to store the games on a hard drive, you're going to back up with that hard drive, and you're always going to have cartridges. So either way, you have, like, you know, basically 3 sets of copies or backups of the same games. And yes, the expensive snowboarding game is called Big Mountain. So I bought this flash cartridge. A flash cartridge is basically a Nintendo cartridge with a micro SD card slot in it. And it probably shouldn't be preloaded with games, but I'm glad it is. And this particular game does not look like an actual Robotech game. I have a feeling that this game was a patch or a mod or something like that. And the reason I kind of have doubts that this is like a real game is because the graphics seem a little too, like, you know, like, involved. Like, it's really trying hard to be like a space simulator that actually tries to simulate space. As ugly as it looks in some regard, it does really do, they do put a lot of good effort into the realism aspect. I'm a little confused by what happens when I press the R button or the C. Wait. Yeah, when I press the R button and the C button, I get this weird dialogue on the top left corner. I don't know what it's trying to tell me. And when I press the D-pad, things happen too. And I think I just saw a color-coded indicator. And it looks like it lets me switch between weapons, but it's very, very confusing. So maybe I'll try this out sometime, but you know, I mean, this, and oh yeah, this game glitches sometimes, like it's doing right now. See, like, first time I played it, the game wasn't even working. And then I basically reselected my mission, and then suddenly everything was present and everything worked. So enough of this game. Now, my modified HDMI, Ultra HDMI upgrade for my N64 has a cool feature. I press all of these buttons, wait, yeah, there we go, A, B, start, Z, and R, and I restart my machine. From there, I get this menu, which may or may not be questionable. But like I said, I own some of these games. And I really don't even, like, I was gonna just download only the games that I absolutely couldn't buy. But it is cool because now I can load this collection of games onto my Xbox, my OG Xbox, and I forgot if they really had two South Park games for Nintendo 64. We definitely had Rogue. Okay, good. This is the game I own, but I misplaced the cartridge. It's like somewhere it might be under my desk. Same thing with Battle for Naboo. I don't know where this game went. I mean, I played it in February or March, so I totally have it. And I was really looking forward to trying out Rogue Squadron because I have the expansion pack, so I could really make use of that. But what I want right now is to check out Ultimate Snowboarding. Let's see, TUV. Yep, look at that. They don't. That's very interesting. Let me make sure that I'm spelling that right. Big Mountain. I got that word wrong. It's called Big Mountain. So we'll go back to... Okay, good. I was noticing this intermittent glitching on my screen when I was playing Banjo-Kazooie. And I'm pleased to say that it is not my Nintendo 64 doing that. It is my really, really cheap USB video capture device, which I'm fine with because I have a fancy Elgato. It's a fine video capture device, but it did not play nicely with my Ultra HDMI modification for N64. On the other hand, this $20 dongle, it looks like a USB memory stick with an HDMI port on it. It had no problem working. So, my only concern is I do feel as though the quality looks worse on this device. Like, it could just be that I'm sitting up close to my screen and on my TV it looks really good. But as far as HDMI upscalers and devices of this sort go, the Ultra HDMI is among the better ones out there. Test SE. Okay, so I was just checking if there was a menu for the if there was any kind of menu for the HDMI, I mean not HDMI, expansion pack. Yes, there is no expansion pack menu. Okay, apparently they're going for like sort of a anime-like theme, I guess. But now, I don't really know what we're doing here. Skis? Oh, cool. I thought this was a snowboarding game. Alright, that's what I was looking for. Might as well just start with whatever they recommend. Alright, now we're ready to rock. And once again, it looks beautiful on my TV. I feel like it looks rather pixelated here. Not a big deal if it still works. You know, the snow looks much better on my TV than it does on my monitor. So, this is part of what you do when you own a device like the Ultra HDMI. You try to tweak some of these stuff. So, okay, this game has like a much brighter contrast value. Now, actually, I could have kept the setting I was on and tried reducing the gamma. But it looks like even with the reduced gamma, we're gonna be doing a bit of a brightness reduction. And it looks like the controls for my video device does not have any gamma control, and that's okay. Okay. Now, looks good so far. My only issue is that... Ow. My only issue is that I'm not really seeing enough of the guy's, snowboard. And that has nothing to do with my settings. I was just checking if there was anything going on. There could be like a... Yeah, like something like that. Looks like pressing B bends the knees. Oh man, you really get that fluff.
Hurry up, get going.
It's very interesting. This game potentially has better graphics in some regard compared to 1080. It's alright. It might be more fun to play it on my TV, but I don't know, like I get this like weird, like bad PlayStation graphics vibe out of this.
Oh, time out. Come on, one more time.
Well, that was interesting. We're gonna try out another game here. But before I do that, let's see, like comparing the color or the brightness of my TV, because Luckily, I have another cheap video capture device coming in because I have multiple uses for the devices, but the one I'm taking delivery of is better suited, might be better suited, but ultimately I will be ordering a AverMedia video capture device because they just seem better than the Elgatos in doing my research. Alright, let's see. I'm just kind of looking for games that I've either never played or, like I said, I could try Rogue Squadron because I have it, I just misplaced it. But, you know, there's always those few N64 games that I've never tried, like Donkey Kong. The beauty of having this flash cartridge goes way beyond being able to play games that you can't buy or games that you're too lazy to insert. I mean, you know, you have a big stack of cartridges, but you insert these in your machine and you're putting wear and tear on the cartridge slot. So, reducing the amount of times you do that will increase the longevity of the machine. Now, one thing I found interesting was people were complaining about, you know, this product I bought. It's called the ED Super 64 Plus. I forgot the name. It's like Exigent. And it's like a red cartridge that resembles an older version of the, what the hell is it called? Well, it's like a really popular flash cartridge. The name I can't remember off the top of my head. But the thing, like, used to go for like 150 bucks. Now it goes for like $349. So it's like nearly 400 bucks if you could even find the stupid thing. It's well made, but only when you can order the thing. It's only as good, you know. It's sort of like the Steam Deck versus the Nintendo Switch. Of course, the Steam Deck is a better computer, a better gaming machine, but the Nintendo Switch has the virtue of being available today. Oh, here's another game I misplaced. For some reason, like all of the games I was playing like 2 months ago, I must have put them in a box. In fact, I'm gonna check some boxes in here, but like Forsaken 64 is another game I had in a box, or I had on my desk alongside Rogue Squadron, Battle for Naboo, and probably a couple of other games. I think GoldenEye is one of those games I misplaced. Like, I must have did it while cleaning my desk or something. King Hill or King of the Hill? What is Jet Force Gemini? And so people bitching in the comments, and they were saying that, oh, this product is a cheap Chinese product. It's like, okay, so it's from China. Who cares? You know, everything you own is from China. Even the high quality, you know, version of the flash cartridge is, you know, it's going to contain parts from China. Oh, and there is something that, so one of the disadvantages of this flash cartridge is that you do have to wait like quite a few seconds after you hit the reset button before you can do anything, or it won't save your game progress. Minor issue. Loading times were not bad. I remember a guy did a video on YouTube saying how long it takes to load the games. He says it doesn't take that long, but because he faded to black and cut, you know, from one scene to the other, people thought he was being deceptive. It's like, no, it actually loads about as quickly as he demonstrated. I might have to sit down and watch this whole thing later. I just want to try the gameplay out. Man, it looks so beautiful on my TV. I really hope the other video capture device makes this look better. Because it looks beautiful on my TV. Now, one really cool thing is that I don't know if it's in the settings, but if it is in the settings, where is it? So it's letterbox. So we can actually get honest to God widescreen imagery right here. So that's like one of the one of the cool things about the Ultra HDMI. However, I think these cut scenes are the extent of it. I think once we go to play the game, we will see it in regular 4x3 aspect. I don't think this widescreen mode is gonna last. And this is a really long intro. Like, I generally like the intro, especially when I'm paying a lot of money for a game. And I know the background is really important. Forbidden Planet. Okay, there we go. So I was typing an emoji and I was getting that freaking stupid emoji instead of the old school emoji. Alright, yeah, Forbidden Planet knockoff, I get it. Yo, how many more intros are there? I say the gamma looks a little washed out on my TV. That looks better. See, that's one of the disadvantages of this device is you'll get the best picture you can get for any given game, but when you switch between games, you often have to switch between settings. Now, you could set up preset mode. 10 different presets is quite likely enough. I don't know if I'm supposed to shoot that. Hey, Yoda. Alright, well, that was interesting. Now I've learned about Jet Force Gemini. Army Man Sarge's Heroes. That's another game I was planning to buy. I remember I was reading a discussion about putting a high capacity hard drive in an old console, like an old Xbox, and someone's like, oh, you never play that many games, what's the point? And it's like, why not? You know, like, just because you can. And it's nice to have options. Maybe you play one game once, and maybe you stumble into a game that you would have never bought because you didn't know about how cool it was. Oh, cool. Pokemon Snap. Always wanted to try that. I wonder if they have the Hey Pikachu talking game in there. Someone said Pilot Wing 64 didn't work. I don't know if that's true. I definitely want to try some console game hacks. Basically, they have like versions of Mario Kart with additional levels into them. I mean, I think one of my YouTube friends was, you know, playing a version of Mario 64 along those lines.
Sometimes, like I said, I'll pop in the channel, talk to you, and then, you know, Paul does his game channel, I don't mind jumping in, especially when he does
Tamagotchi 64. I always want to try Tetris Sphere.
I watch your stuff, and when I don't, and I can't watch your stuff, I catch the replay. Love catching replays. That's the best thing, you know. Sometimes you can't be here. I'd love to be in your channel all the time. I can't. And then again, I get dragged into Loki's channel, which I never joined and never wanted to be there. And I keep asking YouTube, why the hell do I keep ending up here? I'm not Scandinavian or Viking, and I'm not going to cheer like a Greek. I'm sorry. Why am I here? And the only other thing I can think of is Mexican Iron, and it has an Italian. I keep him out of the Latin club until he repents. And, you know, that's the only reason. And then while I'm there, 2 seconds, I can smash the like button and out before I go. I like that. I like that. Yeah. You know me, I try to be chaotic just because, just to be different. Yeah.
Mickey Speedway is basically Mario Kart but easier.
Let an old person like me, and I showed you met Paul Sunday picking on me.
Yeah, I looked at it on Discord.
I just want to point that out. You witnessed that yet. I'm not making it up. You use the other.
Oh yeah, I wanted to see what this was.
I'll hang out more with you.
Wait a minute, Phil. The internet's forever.
I can play absent-minded and forget. And to be said,
This video clip from Pacific Soul.
you know what? Somebody hacked my internet. Somebody hacked my Phil McCracken and took over and voice acted. It's not me.
That is interesting.
Amber Heard took my Phil McCracken YouTube identification and used voice changer.
She's not that good of an actor.
I think I know why that's happening.
This is what I like, man. You have fun. You know, I'm not going to different channels and everything. It's all about having fun regardless of the topic. I go history. I can go for, you know, Randall Carson. I love his show. I love his show. Talking about stuff.
I think the device was having a hard time trying to decide whether to enable or disable the pixel smoothing.
What I like about you, have sports, cover all energy.
So basically, it's a feature called de-blur.
A lot of people, they won't make sports as entertainment.
And what it does is it basically turns off the blurring filter for the N64.
Now you've given me a big head where, for a few moments, I'm going to think, yeah, look at me, and then I expect someone like Anonymous to come on and smack me upside the back of my head and say, I'm down to earth.
That's the first time I've seen a game glitching with this feature enabled.
I can say my name is Zero.
Wait, is this guy an American? Alright, well, I'm an American, he's an American, there we go.
No.
I don't know.
This
It's in Japanese.
3, 2, 1, go!
I gotta say, I really like the this. It just feels smooth. The physics feel pretty good. I get that satisfaction that I'm carving my mark through the snow, so that's really cool. That's one of the things I liked about 1080 was that you leave this really distinct like mark on the snow as you're, you know, sliding through it. And I don't know if that fact that I'm not really falling. Sorry, I had to send a message to a buddy. But yeah, this is not a terrible game. I'll have to visit it later.
Be there with our parole and I as we talk about episode 3 of the Orville tonight. Also,
So, this is the flash cartridge.
some dude who, for some reason, still watches the Cubs even though he
And
knows the outcome.
that part of the flash cartridge is basically like the edge of a circuit board. And someone was bitching about this Chinese knockoff of the EverDrive. That's the name of the competing product. It's called, this is the knockoff version of the older version of the EverDrive 64. But they use the same abbreviation. But the edge of this circuit board is not beveled. And apparently, if someone was bitching about the fact that this is not beveled, it stands to be reasoned that a legitimate cartridge would be beveled. And yeah, it looks like the edge is a little bit beveled, like they carved a little shape. It's hard to see here, and I'm not going to mess with the focus on my lens right now, but it's got a slight bevel on the edge of the cartridge. And you can feel it when you put this cartridge in, you do feel it's a little bit rougher. You know, like you got like a little bit of a click. So, this is a cartridge that if I put it in, once I put it in, I would just leave it in there until I was ready to, you know, unless, you know, I mean, I would just leave it in there for, you know, maybe like a good long session. We could gently, we could very gently scrape this. We could say, okay, we'll take this tool and we'll go, you know, we'll go at it like this. But this is something that you really need to be methodical about.
I have fun. Thanks, man. No, you know, doesn't talk to anybody about this sort of stuff, so it's crazy enough to let me on. So I'm happy to come on, give you somebody to talk to. I know how it is when you're trying to talk alone. You got constipation in your brain. Can't get stuff out of your mouth right. I'm exactly the same way. Being talking to somebody it helps to have more heads, you know, around to you know, bounce stuff off of. So I know how it is, and I appreciate you.
Well, I definitely see some fiberglass dust on my file, so it's working. What I really should do is open the game up, open the cartridge up, and then give the edge a nice clean bevel, you know? Uh-oh. Okay, good, I got one screw. Now, I wonder if this is like those Atari games where they hide the screw under the label so that you get discouraged from opening it. This one looks like they just have some clippy things on the bottom. Alright, this is great. So, you know, the edge of the board,
associated with it. You never know.
it's kind of beveled, but I'm not sure if I just did that.
But it was something I was thinking, it's a risk I'm willing to take.
It was beveled to some extent.
Somebody gets a little bit weird, unruly, then you get the right kick. Channel, your show.
Don't let that film crack and get in there. Once it gets in the barrels and it makes something.
It's like a tick.
Like a tank.
They'll be in like an Alabama tick.
Thank you guys.
No problem, man.
So, have yourselves a great night, and again, I will see you here shortly at midnight to give a live reaction to episode 3 of the Orville. If you have Hulu and you want to watch along, you're more than welcome. So, with that being said, alright. Well, sweet dreams of the Orville. That's not bad, is it?
Not bad. Secondary. I mean, second best, but I'll have to catch the real thing tomorrow. Or my wife likes it, so she's watching it with me. Her to watch it with me.
That's a bonus.
You're into sci-fi, man. I started her off on some Star Trek, you know, and she likes Star Trek. And then I got her into Stargate. She likes Stargate. She doesn't like, she still doesn't care for Star Wars. But bought her Lord of the Rings books. So she read the first one, now she wants to watch the extended versions. Just after she reads each book, you know, to see it, compare the two. I get her. Where are they?
On both
Nice.
extended versions. One different movie where you watch it.
Great.
Thank you for having me. When I'm asked, it's been an honor. And I will catch you guys soon. You guys have a great night.
Have a good night.
I'm here for you anytime you need me, my friend. Just send me a message.
Hey, man.
Alright, take care. Good night. Good night, chat.
Night, too.
Yep, get a nice little bevel on there. That should be good enough. And then, yeah, that's not going to be easy. But yeah, it's a very simple board. It's got a flash memory chip on it and an FPGA. It's got a Cyclone FPGA chip on it there, so that's a little weird. And I don't know why the looks like a RAM chip that is covered with Mylar tape. I'm not sure what that's about. It almost looks like they drilled a hole in a memory chip for some reason. And there's an LED inside this that would never see the light of day. And of course, this board has a micro SD card slot on it. There's an earlier version that takes a regular SD card, but apparently they must have decided to get with the times. Personally, I don't mind regular SD cards, but to be fair, a lot of them will still come with the SD card to micro SD card adapter. So you're not limiting yourself, you know, you can still use them in older devices. A while back, a friend of mine goes, I need you to buy, can you buy an SD card for me while you're at work? He tells me what it is. He goes, I need it for a Switch. So I go, okay. You know, I figured, okay, he's got like network equipment. So I figured, okay, he needs a regular SD card for a network Switch. But no, he needed it for a Nintendo Switch. Oh yeah, that feels a lot smoother. Oh god. Okay, I think that game didn't load because the machine was dirty. Okay, I don't think I played this game yet. It was listed on the menu, but I decided... Actually, I think I did play this already. Yeah, I think I played this already. Yeah, I played... Look at this! Yeah, I just played this game. Okay, this is the game that was giving the menu a hard time with the automatic pixel smoothing mode. Alright, now we are cooking with my favorite snowboarding game so far. And man, this looks beautiful on my TV once again. I'm just gonna keep saying that until I try the other capture card. And then I find out it still looks like crap.
1080!
I mean, I'm definitely sitting far away from my TV, so I mean, that's making it look really nice. But like, that's why we have these scan lines. Sometimes the scan lines will make it look even nicer. Or for some people, it'll give them a sufficient illusion.
Match race.
We're not actually going to do a full match race here. We're just going to play
Let's go.
long enough to play this a little bit before ORVILLE begins. I must go downstairs and prepare to watch it on my best
Rob
TV.
Haywood versus Akari Hayame.
Akami.
Go!
And see, there's the other reason I bought the flash cartridge, because if I hook up my other N64 downstairs, I can perform the RGB mod on that machine, which would be cheaper than buying another HDMI board. I mean, the HDMI board was like $349, and it used to go for a lot less money, but the way it works is that it's being constructed in batches, and like for a while in the beginning especially, like they would basically get people to, like, you know, pledge money up front, like, okay, we have enough for 100 people, and they would build 100 and or whatever it was, and people would put in their hat in the ring. Now you would go to a reseller and buy the HDMI board, but some resellers, they'd give you a lower price on it, and they would tell you, like, you know, you gotta pay for installation. So the price was like cheaper than 300, but in the end you would spend like about 300 or a little bit less because you were paying for installation. Lady's gonna win. Maybe I can still beat her. I'm doing awful here. I don't know if there's a lag thing going on here. Maybe I should be looking at my TV. Maybe I should stop talking. Gonna look at my TV here. Keep
Rob Haywood
versus Ricky Winterboard.
I need stereo sound. Ricky Winterboard. I want to be. You know, I can't look at that angle. So yeah, when the snowboard, you know, makes an indentation into the snow, it's just satisfying about this game. Oh. Woo!
Finish!
Yeah. Just feels good.
Rob Haywood versus Akari Hayame.
Ready?
Now, one of these days, I want to look up these snowboard people's names, these snowboarders, and see like if they exist. Yeah, this girl, she's going for all of the jumps. I love the physics of this game. When you make a turn, the guy actually puts his hand down on the snow and leaves it. Oh! Go! Come on, gotta beat her. Not beat her, just beat the level against her. Of course, I don't want to beat her. Yeah, I'm sure she can handle it. I mean, yeah, that doesn't make it any better. Ow. That hurts like a mother.
Yeah!
The fucking bunny hill is a bitch. Oh, come on!
You did it!
That would have been me, and if I fell before the finish line, I would have been, you know, damaged by too much of a margin to win. I do that in Pod Racer too. I love when you play episode 1 Pod Racer and you go into the finish line
versus Kensuke
and you
Dimachi.
damage the engine, or you split the car, you know, the Pod Racer in half. Oh, this feels like a rush. Kensuke Kimachi. Now, out of my way. Woo! Ooh. Woo. Gotta say, this digital audio is amazing on the Ultra. Man, I don't need to hit the computer. But the digital audio output on this HDMI upgrade is phenomenal. And I want you to take note at the top right corner where the... Oh, I'm dead. I shouldn't be paying attention to the background elements. But where the kilometers per hour is, you can see the way the shading is, it's got what they call dithering. And dithering is sort of like when you have like a low, older computer where the colors are not that high. To do a gradient or shades of color, it'll use a pattern.
Versus Kensuke Kimachi. Ready? Go!
Sort of like a checkerboard pattern that gets larger or smaller. I'm trying to be fucking polite here. Well, you know, the idea of a dithering pattern is that if you're sitting far enough away, it'll look like gradient or shading, you know, it won't look like a pattern. And with the blurring enabled, sometimes the blurring will help to give that illusion, to help with the, you know, illusion is that you have different shades of color. Like you see a lot of patterns here that would have been filtered out by the blurring, and things that making something blurry doesn't really filter something out, it obfuscates it, which is sometimes a good thing, you know, sometimes you actually choose to have that, you know. I didn't even know he was behind me.
Nice try.
Well, that was a nice try to an extent. I figured out the more I talk, the harder it is. But with that, we're gonna prepare to watch ORVILLE because I must remain elephant. I must remain an elephant with the YouTube community, and by elephant I mean relevant.
Go!
So with that, I thank you for tuning in. I.e. for nobody for tuning in, thank you very much. Although I did manage to get one like. So how did I get one like if nobody was watching? Next time I stream, I'm going to use a lower bitrate because I want to do an experiment, because I keep getting this error message saying my bitrate is too high, and maybe it is. I got to double check the parameters because you do need a higher bitrate to get 60 frames a second at 1080p. Alright, ending stream now.